Is hating Fortnite just the popular thing right now? Or is there actually very valid reasons to hate the game? I'm going to talk about all of that in this video, and I'm going to talk about 3 things. The first thing is I'm going to break down everything good and bad, very bad, about this chapter, and we're going to go through everything. But I'm going to do it quick. Then lastly, I'm going to go over all the new drama that happened in the community with the event and with the new Disney article that just dropped some crazy news. And at the end of the video, I'm going to try to break down why everyone just hates Fortnite right now and what you can do to fix that and what Fortnite can do to fix it. So we're just going to get straight into the video, but I wanted to say I need your help. All right, all I'm going to say is that if you enjoy my videos at all and just want to see me do well in life, supporting me on Patreon or using code JoJoJosiah or supporting me any other way, even leaving a like or subscribing helps out so much, because when your muffler falls off going 40 miles an hour, it's not exactly a good time. Anyway, just any support helps. I'm going to try to get sponsors soon. Thank you. Now enjoy the video. All right, now let's just quickly talk about the state of the game, what's wrong, and I'm going to breeze through this so I can talk about other things later in the video. Okay, some things that I think almost everyone agrees on. Bad UI. The locker right now is awful. I think Discover needs some tweaks, and I think just UI in general is in a pretty poor state. I don't think it feels quite like Fortnite, and I can even agree the rarity changes and some of these other changes were just kind of pointless, and I think they just made the overall experience worse in general. If you think I'm wrong, leave your comments below and I will read through them and try to get a more unbiased perspective on everyone's opinions. Next, I think the majority of players do not really like bullet drop. I think we need to have hit scan in the game in some form, whether in zero build it is bullet drop and then in build it is hit scan, or something where people can play BR and there's an experience where we have hit scan. I do not think the gunplay is very satisfying. I hear that from pretty much everyone. Maybe we just need more unique items. Maybe we need better gameplay. I don't know, but I don't think hit scan is feeling. I talked to so many streamers, all of my friends, no one likes bullet drop. Now again, I do think that gameplay style is for some people, so maybe they could figure out some way to integrate both. Another thing is the repetitive gameplay and just not sticking to themes. I feel like this whole chapter has felt very samey, and I think the themes are not really sticking. They're kind of going into a theme. Like the Greek God season should have been one of the best seasons of all time. I still think it was pretty decent, but if they just stuck to the theme and went more ham with more god mythics and just made the season feel crazy good, I think it could have been an all-timer. And yet when I look back at the rest of this chapter, I feel like they tried stuff again with Wrecked. It felt like this crazy new playstyle. Everything was different, and whether you liked it or hated it, it was different. But then at the end of the season, they had to just nerf everything, and it just ended up being another filler season that just kind of felt the same as the chapter has been feeling the entire time. Another thing is that this whole chapter has just been really realistic. I mean, it's a pretty big change of pace for Fortnite. A lot of people started playing this game because it was cartoony, because it was interesting, because it was vibrant, and now it just feels kind of like a weird mix of Fortnite and COD, and I don't think everyone's vibing with it. I think we need to see a big change in art style next chapter. I mean, maybe some people like this gritty, realistic thing, but I feel like generally speaking, kids and what is the core audience of Fortnite is a lot of younger people like a bright, flashy, cartoony, crazy thing, not this like super realistic, weird mix we have going on right now. And then the seasonal events have been very lackluster for a while. I think that is a super underrated topic that a lot of people don't talk about. I think the seasonal events make Fortnite feel very special during the summer, winter, fall. All these different seasons need to have banger seasonal events to make you just want to play Fortnite during these seasons, to come back to the game during the summer. Like everyone was playing the game, and now I feel like people are just not really caring. There's not as much to do around Fortnite. There's not as much to be excited around during these times. And so I think they're starting to kind of like this Fortnite feels like it's gonna be one of the best we've had in a while. I could be wrong, but I think they're trying to like lock in and really make them better, but I think they need to do a better job and lock in faster. Now, the biggest thing that I can't just go without saying is the metaverse. I think there's a lot of issues people have with the metaverse. People just don't care, but if I really break down and just try to be unbiased, we've still had a lot of updates. I think people really just want to see the current BR succeed, and Fortnite needs to prioritize that. And I feel like they've been doing a good job. We've gotten consistent updates. We've gotten cool new stuff. I think they just need to do a better job at making it more flashy, more interesting, more creative. And there is some smaller things here and there, like the movement needs to probably get better, but a lot of that just kind of boils down to gameplay. And so I am going to move on to the next point. If I missed anything, please type it in the comments. I'm trying to just give an unbiased view at what I think genuinely could make Fortnite a better game as a whole. If it's not your vision for the game, I understand, but please give me the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to just encompass everything. And then remember, later on, I am going to talk about a lot of the current stuff that's happening. This is just my well thought out version right now. So stick to the end of the video to see the unfiltered version. Now, let's talk about what they are doing right. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are gonna be like, bro, they're doing nothing right. But I think there are some things, and I think they are very important. The cosmetics. I know this might be a contentious point, but I think unbiasedly, the cosmetics have been phenomenally good. This is not something I normally care about at all, but again, I'm gonna leave my opinions for later in the video. And I do have some surprise guests that are gonna be talking about it. But yeah, I feel like the cosmetics are crazy well designed. I feel like we're getting unique, cool collabs. I feel like in general, cosmetics have been hype. The collabs they've been getting have been crazy. And I think that the designs, everything have been top of the line. Now, the next thing I have written down on my script is that they are doing the live events crazy right. And well, I feel like I need to save this point for later in the video now, because that's what I'm going to be talking about. So we'll talk about that later. The other thing I was going to talk about though is the game modes. I feel like Lego, Festival, and Rocket Racing have all been very impressive. Again, Rocket Racing I think is terrible, but I think as a concept, releasing these new modes as well as keeping BR pace decent, if not just as good as previous chapters, I think is going to be beneficial to Fortnite as a whole in the future. Now, I know a lot of people hate that idea, but the amount of love I've seen for Fortnite Festival, Lego Fortnite has been almost unbelievable. Like, I did not expect this in my wildest dreams for these modes to do so well. So that is one thing I will applaud Epic on this chapter, is that these modes are really intriguing. The other thing I think they are doing right is they are starting to finally bring back LTMs. We got Floor is Lava, we got Ship It, we got the Doomsday LTM, and I just feel like they're actually bringing back LTMs, which makes me so happy. I really hope this keeps up. Please bring back some of our beloved LTMs. This part of my favorite thing in Fortnite has been LTMs. Please keep it up. And again, one positive thing is that I think seasonal events are finally getting better. That might not be the case, but I think. Okay, now for my opinions on what I would do to fix chapter 6. And then I'm gonna bring in some special guests to see what they have to say on why they hate Fortnite right now. Okay, my opinion, go back to hit scan. I think more people like it. I think it's way more beneficial for the game. I think the gunplay, the gameplay especially, just feels way better with hit scan. And who knows, maybe when they bring back hit scan, they could make reload a bullet drop version instead, so that people who like bullet drop can just go play reload, or maybe zero build. I think there is something they could do there. And again, they need to make seasonal events pop again. I think that is way underestimated by them. I think they need to do some things that just make the game go like, oh my gosh, during the season I just have to play Fortnite. Another thing is stick to the themes and really make them shine. I think there is no reason why even this current Marvel season shouldn't have 10 more mythics than it does. Bring back the old mythics, make it crazy, make it pop, make it feel like this insane event, and just like I want to get on Fortnite every single day. They need to pick a theme and just push it to the most extent that it can go, and just see what happens and see how cool they could make stuff. Another thing that they need to do is split the loot pools. I don't see any downsides to this. I just think ranked and pubs should be different loot pools. It's easier for everyone. Give comp players the boring gameplay they want. Give pub players the really fun, crazy gameplay we want. I think it would be cool if they made new items and they were just super OP in pub, and then they could nerf them after 1 to 2 weeks, and then once they're nerfed, maybe then they can go into ranked. And then of course, fix the UI, and basically everything I had and why it made this chapter bad, they need to just do to make the next chapter good. I think they need to do a massive art style shift and just overall just like overhaul this current chapters, and maybe even make the next chapter like overly cartoony and just see where that goes. But I don't know. At the end of the day, we need a massive shakeup. All right, that was my thoughts. Now let me send you over to some of my friends and other YouTubers and see what they think.
The one thing I think I hate about Fortnite Chapter 5 the most, hands down, has to be the loot pool. Just in general, I don't like the weapons. The shotgun meta is the worst it's ever been. Most of the SMGs feel weak. As much as I loved Wrecked, I'm a little overwhelmed. I don't even want to say overwhelmed. I'm just a little tired of just overpowered items between Wrecked and then going to the superhero meta. But I think the biggest thing that I'm tired of, and we've had 3 chapters of this in a row, is every weapon being available at every rarity. The loot pool, just in every aspect, is abysmal. It is terrible. I'm done. That's why Reload feels so good to play, because at least the weapons feel special in there. I don't feel like every single, I have an equal chance of getting everything all the time. Gold weapons don't feel special anymore. Purple weapons don't feel special anymore, even with attachments. This new system that they've had for all of the last 3 chapters just needs to stop. But specifically with chapter 5, between the bullet drop, the poor management of weapon attachments, the overall just mismanagement of how rarity works, all of that in conjunction together, terrible. absolute worst thing about Fortnite Chapter 5.
My personal biggest frustration with Chapter 5 is Epic Games being so hesitant to just let us have fun, drop the stuff that would make the community happy, have competitive, be competitive, don't have the fun stuff in there, and just, no matter how many people complain, leave the cars in, have the Marvel Mythics busted, because I can guarantee you back in Chapters 1, Chapter 2, and even a little bit of Chapter 3, and I hate to be this guy, I hate to be the Donald Mustard era, but the Donald Mustard era would have had Doctor Doom in every single game for somebody to experience. We would have had that fun stuff. The cars wouldn't have been nerfed to the ground. They might have gotten a little bit of a nerf, but we would have still been able to use them. These things are getting nerfed to the ground, and Fortnite is really kind of becoming, within Chapter 5, kind of like a COD game. It's losing what made it special, that being the fun, wacky, ridiculous things. I hate the fact that we get all of these promising things, and again, they're just nerfed to the ground. All I want moving forward is for Epic Games to go back to what they used to make in the game, that being, like I just said, the ridiculous items, the weird items, things like the inflatable, things like the alien season. That's what I want most moving forward, and that's what I think Chapter 5 is missing the most.
Hey there, Professor Lori is here to talk about how terrible, disgusting, garbage Chapter 5 is, but there is a lot of issue I kinda wanna bring up, like a unique one that probably no one else gonna bring up, and that's about Chapter 4. Like, it kinda feels like Chapter 5 just took all of the improvements that Chapter 4 made into the game and just yeeted them all out of into the garbage or somewhere. Like, why? Why did you do that? The vibrant graphics are gone, the beautiful sunrise, the art direction especially around the map, and the battle bus animation, all of it is just gone. It's just so boring now. Look at the animations of this, and I would just like pop. That's it. The map locations also didn't really feel useless after their season ended, unlike Chapter 5. There was also no mashing the storyline trailer and the gameplay trailer into one, just garbage. Basically, Chapter 5 feels like the game is just completely going backwards with everything, especially the UI. I'm like, why? Why are you making these choices? Why? What's the point? Why? Now go learn Fortnite lore and praise the 5 realities, or I'm gonna smack.
So when I talk about my feelings regarding Fortnite and Chapter 5, just know that a lot of it is negative, and the reason why, it's just because it comes from a place of passion. I've been playing the game since Chapter 1, and I've adored the game since then, but Chapter 5 just feels like a severe downgrade in terms of everything regarding the game. Almost nearly everything besides maybe the skins and the animations. They look totally fine to me. I think they're all great, but the UI for the locker is terrible. The Discover UI is terrible. I don't enjoy the map. I don't enjoy the bullet drop off. I don't enjoy the fact that the guns all look the same. I don't enjoy that they have the font look the way it does, because it doesn't look very cartoony or Fortnite to me anymore. I don't like how they got rid of skin rarities. I don't like how they did a lot of different things with the game. I really don't enjoy the direction that we're going in. It feels like Disney has a lot more of a corporate stranglehold on Fortnite to actually do the things that they do now. It really does feel like it's all Disney now, and you know, we thought that maybe it would have been Lego that would do that. No, it turns out Disney was really doing it. And the fact that like some skins won't be used because Disney won't allow certain characters to use certain guns, like at that point, man, like what is Fortnite now? It's so far from what the game used to be. It's just not the same, and those are my thoughts on it. I say this meaning that I really care about the game. Yes, everything I have to say about Chapter 5 is extremely negative. It is the worst chapter by far, but I hope that there is some life at the end of the tunnel for this game, because right now it just does not seem like Fortnite is Fortnite anymore, and that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Honestly, my problem with Chapter 5 is not even with the chapter itself. It's the map's. I love the map. The storyline is the best it's been since past chapter. I think the main problem I have is with the player base. They don't accept new change, honestly. It's frustrating because every time something new comes out, they always complain before it even comes out. Like, they always complain, oh, this season's gonna suck, without even playing it. And that just, I hate that.
Today we're gonna be going over 5 Fortnite reasons why Chapter 5 sucks. Number 1, bullet drop. Number 2, bullet drop. Number 3, flippin' bullet drop. Number 4, bullet drop. Number 5, bullet drop.
Hi guys, I got a package today. is the book. The book has a note. It says, "Alright guys, it's Greta. One thing I didn't like about the chapter was the nerfs. They nerfed a fun item, and now it's boring."
Hello, I'm Smith. If you're watching this, then an individual called JoJoJosiah is currently holding me captive and wants my tax money. The only way for that not to happen is if I make this video. Now, honestly, I think the worst Chapter 5 feature is the random buffs and nerfs. I've always had fun playing this game, but honestly, every single time I play it, I don't know if the community is gonna go to hell because of a change of a weapon. Thank you for watching, and please don't take my fucking tax money.
The worst part of Chapter 5 by far has to be the weapon bench and the weapon modding. At least in Season 1, the mod benches spawned at the boss POIs, but since then they've been randomly appearing in the middle of games. Now I've got to run a marathon across the map just to get 1 or 2 mods which frankly don't even do much to the weapon.
So the thing I hate about Chapter 5 the most is obviously the gunplay. Bullet drop is single-handedly the worst thing they have ever done to the game. It just made it so unenjoyable to like play. Second, obviously the lack of updates to mods. We haven't had a mod update or a new mod since Chapter 5 Season 2. And it sucks because mods are so cool and I would love for them to be in Chapter 6, but just update them. And obviously the lack of weapon benches around the map. You can't find them until like the end of the game, which kind of makes the mods even more useless than they already are. So I just hope they fix the weapons next chapter because it wasn't fun playing with the weapons this chapter.
Hello fellow JoJoJosiah viewers. Here's what I hate about Chapter 5. Weapon mods. On the table, it sounded like a good idea, but it was poorly executed. No one wants to upgrade their weapons when over half the lobby is dead. It's useless at that point, more or less. Why they didn't put mod benches in every POI like they did in Chapter 2 is beyond me. So yeah, that's my take. See ya.
Yo, who the fuck is MB1045 Gaming?
All right, let me know what you guys thought about all of my friends' thoughts. Thank you to everyone for sending me clips of your thoughts. Also, a lot of those people were my Patreon members because I talk in my Discord Patreon chat all the time to update people on videos and to see what they think about stuff. So if you want to join my Patreon, that would be super cool. But now let's talk about what is going on. Okay, so Fortnite just did this crazy live event that was super cool, but is getting a lot of hate. And I think I know why. And I am also going to talk about how Disney just put out an article doing an interview saying that they're gonna make a bunch of these skins family friendly, not gonna have guns, and that they want to make Fortnite an experience where people can, I don't know, whatever. I'll talk about it. But this part is less structured and more free flowing, so it's just my current thoughts on what is going on and why I feel like everybody is just hating on Fortnite to hate on Fortnite. Okay, let's talk about the live event. Now, please stop. Off the bat, we all need to admit, okay, this was a mini event. So if you have played the other mini events this chapter, it is like when the hand broke through the map, and then when Pandora's box got lowered down and we were breaking the chains all together, community health bar. As soon as we broke the chains, Pandora's box fell down and then opened up and shot demon souls into the sky. This was basically a bigger, cooler, more interesting version of that. Now, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, he only had 3 attacks, it was so boring, blah 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 blah, and I can kind of understand where you're coming from. I always do think things can be better and more interesting, and I want Fortnite to strive for that. However, I think you have to give some grace. This was crazy. Having a community battle with over 5 million players all fighting Doom at the same time using different weapons, and he is fighting us back as a big giant boss version of Doom is so cool. I feel like a lot of people must have no idea how much work something like that must take and how much stress it must cause on the servers, and like they can't make him do like 10 different moves and make this super like crazy boss fight from Destiny. None of that is going to happen in a game where it is a live event, in a battle royale, live battle royale games with 5 million players all fighting this thing at the same time. It's not happening, bro. Now, to give some credit, I think what a lot of people want is a full-scale live event. I think a lot of people were expecting that from this, and I don't know why. And people were saying, well, there was a timer, and well, there was a teaser. And those literally existed because people got so mad that the earlier ones didn't have timers or teasers or anything from Fortnite to tell us what was going on. So at some point, like, we gotta pick a struggle, bro. Like, do they do this? Do they not do this? Like, I feel like it's on you. So at the end of the day, like, it wasn't a full-scale live event. It was a mini event. I get it if you didn't like it, you thought it was boring, you thought it was too long. Some people thought it wasn't long enough. Like, Fortnite can never win, and everyone's just gonna hate on the game. So I think Fortnite should just do what they are doing and continue to try to push the boundaries of where they can go. And I think everyone just needs to realize that they are trying their best, and please try to give them some grace, because that event was so cool. Like, when you really just sit there and think about 5 million people all playing the game at the same time and all fighting Doom, how can you not think that that is one of the coolest things ever? But again, let me know your comments on that down below as well, because I feel like I might be in the minority. I'm not sure. I just don't understand where these people are coming from. And I've talked to a lot of people about this topic. I put out a whole thread like asking people what their opinions were, and I was trying to have genuine discussions with everyone. And I feel like a lot of people just had their expectations crazy out of whack. But now let's talk about Disney, and I can wrap everything up in this nice little bow and end the video. Okay, I just want to say we've been through this before. Fortnite already released this thing saying that they were going to do this age rating thing. People got mad. It's kind of in the game still anyway, that people just don't really care about anymore. But now Disney has outright said, like, yeah, some characters are not going to have guns, and we don't really know exactly what that means yet. And I think that's actually the problem with a lot of this, is like, we don't really know what's going to happen. We know Fortnite and Disney's going to make this crazy new big game that we just really don't even know what it's going to be at all yet. Some people were bringing up that maybe they just meant with like certain skins, like Stitch is probably never going to be in BR, and they don't want him to hold guns maybe. So maybe they were just talking about characters that wouldn't make sense for Fortnite, and they just don't want to be in that context. But who knows, maybe they also just like don't want Cinderella to one pump you and box you, like Klarque said on Twitter. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's pretty much just as simple as, like, if it isn't something you want, just do not buy it. And again, the article was so vague, we really just don't know what's gonna happen yet. I actually read the full article, and my grasp of the situation was mostly just like, they're making this huge, expansive, crazy mode, and maybe all of these skins that are not gonna be in BR are gonna be in there. But at the end of the day, I don't really think that's going to affect BR. And I do think it's pretty lame that you can't play as some of these really funny characters maybe in BR shooting guns at people. But like, if people don't want to collab with Fortnite, they don't want to collab with Fortnite. And so maybe Disney is just not willing to put some of these collabs in the main game, and I don't really care. I think the outrage gets crazy again because people just have these thoughts of the metaverse is going to be this big crazy evil thing, and Disney's going to take over everything and control and be evil Mickey and If you really think about it, I feel like the game has remained fairly consistent through time, even with this Disney acquisition. Like, we've been slowly going metaverse this whole time, and I think Disney just wants to make this huge game. So at the end of the day, if this mode sucks, just like don't play it and just don't buy anything that you don't want, and then they'll probably realize, oh, we're probably wrong. Maybe we should give Cinderella a scar. And another part of me wants to say, like, I really can't even blame Disney after what happened with Elastigirl in Fortnite. I feel like they were like, I don't know if we want to put other skins in the game, bro. Elastigirl's getting it bad. But at the end of the day, we truly are just gonna have to wait and see what happens. And I think to just wrap up this video in one way, I think you really just have to sit there and think to yourself, do I enjoy this game? Now, we all want this game to be better, but you have to really just think through your criticisms and make sure they make sense. Do I think the Doom event could have been cooler? Yes. He could have popped out of my screen and started kissing me on the mouth. I think that would have been awesome. But like, what makes sense from Fortnite? Like, we've seen these other mini events before, and this one was by far the most impressive. You really just have to have your expectations and checks for these things, or it just doesn't make sense. And I'll even admit my own fault. Like, we have seen seasons this entire chapter, and it was kind of crazy for me to think that this season was going to be any different. I got very disappointed, and I am not a fan of this season, but that genuinely is at least partly my fault. We've had a whole year of chapter 5, and I should have just expected more chapter 5, and that's what we got. So I think a lot of people really just need to sit down and be like, what do I not like about this game? And maybe I just don't need to play it anymore. Like, an anecdote from me is I really love Smash Bros. I have put so much time into Smash Bros Ultimate, and I was playing that game constantly. But I will not lie, I started to not like the game as much after they started adding in certain characters that really made me playing the game just not have as much fun. So I tried to stick with it for a while, but then after they added some characters, I was just like, I just don't know if I'm having as much fun. I think I'm just gonna play it sometimes when I want to and really just have a chill experience with the game. And that was so good for me. Now I can just have a fun experience with the game. I still have my issues with it, and I think watching it sometimes is not as fun, and I still wish that they would have done a few more patches to really just round out the game before they dropped it. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna accept it for what it is. That way I can have fun with it and play it when I want to, and then if I don't want to play it, I do not play it. The other thing you have to consider is that Fortnite is gonna do what makes sense for Fortnite. They're not gonna be able to listen to everyone. They're gonna go off the data. They're gonna do what makes money. They're gonna do what's best for them as a business. You have to really look at those things, and if what you want out of the game doesn't align with them, then probably just give it up now, because it's probably going to go down an even worse path for you. For me personally, I love a lot of Disney IPs. I think the metaverse is a pretty interesting idea. I'm not super attached to it. I love VR, and I still want to see where the game goes. So I'll be here for a while longer, but if you don't want to, you really just don't have to. There's so many other cool games, and there's so many other cool games that are constantly coming out that you can be there early for and just stick around and see what happens. Even small communities for games, I think, are some of the best communities to actually be in and like feel what a community actually feels like and really get a cool gaming experience with people that are like-minded, and it can be awesome. So everybody hates Fortnite, but they don't have to, and I hope you don't. But thank you for watching the video. I hope it was interesting. I kind of just yapped, and I had this whole script, and it kind of just fell apart and blah, 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 blah. But if you want to support the channel, join my Patreon, use code JoJoJosiah, join my Discord, because that's where a lot of us talk and have a lot of fun, and watch my streams because they're awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Thank you to my Patreons for supporting the channel, and special thanks to Paragon for that extra crazy support.